Well, thank you, everyone. Just a short view on myself. I've been working all my life in marketing, first at Procter & Gamble, then in telco business, 11 years at Telefonica, then Publicis Group in a media agency, and then moving to the banking sector with Banco Santander. And I'm just 2 years old in India. So, first of all, thank you to Qualtrics for having the opportunity of sharing this case with all of you. What is important for this case is that customer was a word that was not present at any presentation at the company before. Okay, so no matter that we were talking about customer experience for many years, for DIA is something completely new. And it's amazing, have a company with 35 years old, customer has never been part of the real strategy of the company. But I told you how. So this is where the company was born in the early 70s, and this was basically the kind of competition that we have at this point. It's all traditional grocery stores with one person that know you from you were a kid and you were going to the store to buy the groceries, and he pick up everything for you. Dia just launched in Spain a completely different format. It's called the hard discount format, and it's a format that now we are accustomed to it, but in the early 70s was something completely new. This is somehow they look the stores in Spain, the Dia stores. So the commercial proposition that we have was completely different on what was there before. We have no shelves. The product was built in one on the top of the others. We have even the product in boxes. Okay, so you have just to take away all the carton case in order to take the product. At this point was a period on you maybe some of you remember we don't have barcodes, no scanners, so all the product has to be a sticker. We do not sticker our products over here. We just have just some posters with the price on the top, and even the cashiers has to memorize. We work with around 500 or 1,000 SKUs. The cashiers memorize all the different product codes so they can go faster in the cashier. And the main focus of this kind of stores were focused on productivity and efficiency. That was the name of the game. Okay, people was basically running by engineers. Okay, not by people coming from retailing. So they have a completely different approach. So everything was going around productivity, efficiency, and we were very tough negotiators with all the different providers. Okay, so all these economies were translated into price. Okay, so price was really the brand proposition of this point, and we sacrifice everything towards the price. Okay, let me show you. No matter it's in this looks one of the stores. It's in Spanish, but I translate to you. We were so cheap that we had to explain to the customers why we were so cheap. You know, in terms of not compromising quality issues. So we say this is part of our stores, and we have a big billboard with the 10 reasons why we are able to sell so cheap, because we are not giving away plastic bags, and this was not because eco reasons and environmental issues. That was because we can save that money, and if the customer bring their own bags. We are not using shelves. We do not sticker the price on the products. We do not have fancy stores. We don't have perishables. We have very low personnel at the stores, okay, in order to have the cost in that way. We have very reduced margins. We want to sell a lot, and basically we put all this into price. Okay, so we have to make all these reasons to the customer in order to make it then able to understand our commercial proposition. And this was a tremendous success. Okay, the company just grow over the last 35 years incredibly in Spain. We expand in other countries with this model, but we were so mad about price, okay, that we say to the people at the cashier, people that interacts directly with the customer, we say to them, do not speak to the customers. Okay, can you imagine? This was part of the manual of the people at the cashier. You know, because we were so focused on productivity and efficiency that we say, hey, you have to get at least 40 items per minute okay, going through the cache. So if you spend saying hello and trying to chat and interacting with the customer, you get completely lost. And then the queue starts. We cannot open more cache registers because we have very low personnel at the stores, so you have to go fast. If you have to go fast, you cannot speak to the customer. This was the really starting point of it, okay? But the point is that this strategy was successful. And the company was growing and growing and growing. So they didn't feel that they need to take care of the customer. The customer was a consequence of the strategy, but was never the focus and the center of it. We thought that opening a lot of stores and offering the best price, just the customers came in. And this was true, you know? The dramatic thing is that this was true. But what happened around 2010? Well, around 2010, we were exiting somehow the crisis, but the consumer shift. So price, that was the number one reason of buying. Now the customers are thinking about having more assortment of products, and especially they are thinking of having a different experience, a good experience when they're purchasing at the stores, okay? And specifically our key competitors, Lidl and Mercadona. Lidl, you know about it, but Mercadona is honestly one of the top key players worldwide in terms of food retailing. They are hard discounters as us, but they raise the bar. You know, they change their stores, they provide more assortment. Now the experience never look anymore like a hard discount or a warehouse as our stores look like. Okay, so we were caught in a point on which the customer has shifted and they demand different things, and our customer has raised the bar. So we were completely caught offside in that point. So definitely we were start losing market share, and people start getting nervous about it. I just entered the company, as I told you before, just 2 years ago. When I was having my entry interviews and in all the process of being recruited, I asked the CEO one question. So I asked him, who is responsible of the customer in your organization? And he told me, nobody. Okay, so the customer was not even a priority at that point. Okay, so when I came, I asked him if I can present to him a customer experience program. Okay, and he bought my idea, and this is why we started with this project. Two elements are key for the success of the project. First was the sponsorship of the CEO of the company. He fully supported the project from the first moment of it. And secondly, the employees. Okay, we made with the employees something really interesting, because for the employees, we were preventing them from something that is natural, okay? That is making the relationship with the customer, okay? So when we start talking about the customer with the employees, the reaction was fantastic. Let me show you a quick video on how our CEO, Ricardo Corrás, he sees himself as and the role that he's playing with all this process. It's in Spanish, but it's subtitled in English.
Solamente deciros, una vez más, que para poner al cliente en el centro hay que practicarlo todos los días. ¿Qué puede hacer Ricardo Currás para que eso sea verdad y para que todos vosotros, en vuestro trabajo diario, de verdad, pongáis la máxima, tengáis las mejores prácticas para conseguir que el cliente esté satisfecho? Pues yo lo que puedo ser, sobre todo, es un facilitador. Esa es mi misión. Cada uno de vosotros tiene que asumir que lo de que el cliente está en el centro, oye, que ese es tu día a día. No a ver qué opina Ricardo o a ver qué opina el comité ejecutivo. Es qué opina el cliente. Algunos dicen que el cliente es el jefe, pero no se lo creen. Yo me lo creo. Y creo que la mejor manera de hacerlo en mi trabajo diario es facilitaros la tarea.
Okay, so this guy is a mathematician. Okay, he has never speak about the customer, you know, and now is fully believer on it. okay? And he's the CEO, so he's pushing really hard for it. So we start working with the whole organization. We carry over last year more than 1,800 different workshops involving more than or almost 2,000 people. This year we are going to involve 5,000 people of all the different managers and the people working at the stores in all the cultural program, identifying the best attitudes and how we are going to take care of the customer in this new way. And what is important is that we work together with Deloitte in implementing this program, because we have a very small team at the very beginning. What we were faced at this point, NPS of DIA was minus 15%. Okay, so it was terrible, especially when Lidl and Mercadona has 20 and 80 NPS. So we have a 30 points gap at this point. Having a negative NPS and about minus 15 means that we were doing things terribly wrong. You know, in something that is somehow easy, that is just coming to the store, finding the product that you are looking for, and just get out from the cash. You know, that is something really easy. We were making a nightmare for our clients, okay, because and they tell us with this NPS of minus 15. So we began understanding the customer experience. We start drawing the customer journey, identifying all the different touch points, and identifying with, you can imagine, with a minus 15 NPS, we were able to identify 67 different pain points in all this process, okay? As 67 were too much to tackle from the very beginning, we just concentrated this in 15 different initiatives, and we make firstly a pilot in 15 different stores. This was one example of what we have done. We started one of the things that the customers said about us was they didn't like the look and feel of our stores. So this was one of the stores at the very beginning. We changed the exterior, we changed all the interior of the stores, and we still working in this way in 15 different initiatives, specifically out of stock issues. We were also in the bakery section, in the fruit and vegetable sections, in the queues that were created when you are exiting the store. So we placed all these different initiatives. And the interesting thing is that in only 6 months from we start the pilot, we were able to grow the NPS by 8 points, from 17 to 25. This pilot also let us test the Qualtrics tool in a way of gathering all this customer feedback, and results were really encouraging. So we decided to make a deployment in 4,000 stores in Spain. We started in June last year, and what is interesting is that all the information that is provided by Qualtrics was very important. So we were able not now to measure only NPS, but we are able now to measure every interaction that the customer has in our stores. Okay, so measuring how they interact with the bakery section, with fruit and vegetables, the look and feel on the store, everything. And what is much more important is that we call, we have, like, from the interviews, we call the hard data that we have. So we have the NPS score, we have the scoring for every different touch point, but what is much more important is that we have found what we call hard data. Okay, in all our interviews there are fill in the blanks, an open space on which the customer can provide us their comments, and you cannot imagine how rich is this information that we are gathering from the customer. So from all these comments, we are really receiving what the customer are perceiving, much more away from just the questions that we are including in the survey. Another interesting thing is we are measuring this in every store, so that's completely worthless to have a national NPS, because you have really strong performance stores and very low performer, so you have to know where is the problem located, and if one store the problem is with the cashiers, that they are not nice to the people. In another store the problem may be with the bakery section that is out of stock late in the afternoon. So different actions have to be made. So you must measure every different store. So now we are measuring 5,000 stores in Spain. What is important is that all the employees are involved in all this process with visibility of the results. We are gathering, as I told you before, custom insights, prioritizing actions, and what is also important is that we have all this information in real time. So just 30 minutes after the customer leaves the store, we launch the survey either by email or through the app. We have like 1 million customers with the app and with all the coupons over there, so we have a direct way of contacting them, if not by the app, through email, but we have also have a toll-free number. We have also through the website, so we have many ways on which we can collect all this feedback, and what is important is that we have it in real time. Okay, so we have launched, well, this is all this number. Now we are more like in 1 million surveys, around 1 million surveys launched. We have now probably more than 500 different response in that sense, and we have adapted to every kind of the different stores that we have. So in the stores that we have a butcher service, we make specific questions about the butcher, if they have bought some meat and so on, and we have launched it in all the 3 different brands that we have. So now the customers have all the power. The store managers can have direct access to the Qualtrics dashboard. Okay, so for them, they get access to all the information of each of the different stores. In words of the customer manager, they say, hey, it's like having a Facebook. It's like a Facebook wall, so I can see all the comments of the customers every day. Imagine that. An average store manager manages around 10 different stores, so they receive around 10 and 20 interviews per day. So I'm not able to read the 200,000 questionnaires, but he's able to read everything that the customer says every day about their store. So they told us that, hey, first thing I do in the morning is just open the computer, take a look at the sales of each of the different stores, but also take a look at what the customer has said to me the day before. And another interesting thing is that we have run a close-of-the-loop program. So every customer that scores in the NPS question less than 4, we open another question, say, hey, do you want to be contacted by your people in order to help you with this problem? If they say yes and provide us the phone number or the email, the store manager has to contact them in 48 hours time, and we have a really big success rate, and customers get really surprised when something in the name of Dia just call him and interested and apologizing because the poor service. Now honestly we can say that customers are truly in the center of the organization, in the center of all the decisions. Together with the CEO, it's incredible to see how logistic people from our operations now start worrying and thinking about any different action that they made, thinking on the customer first. And clearly the results were a strategic impact in the whole organization. As I told you before, NPS is part of every employee bonus right now. We have a strong impact on the logistics. Prior, logistic was the priority in order to keep costs down, and now the priority is having all the products available at the store. So no matter you have to send one more truck per week to the store, you do it. Okay, because the priority is not is to have all the product at the store available. We have redesigned all the stores. We have launched new commercial models with incredible results in terms of sales and in terms of customer attraction, just by listening to the customers and doing what they are really demanding to us. Okay, a really strong impact on the people and on the culture, and definitely a strong customer impact that we are now assessing, and NPS is growing day by day in India. So hopefully in a short time period I expect to be on top of the rank, and definitely being far away from the -15 of the very beginning. So the project was so successful that we are now rolling out globally. We are launching in Spain in La Plaza and Clarel, that are two different store formats that we have in Spain, but we are also having plans of launching it in Portugal and probably this year in Brazil and Argentina. But we feel is that we are just at the very beginning of the stage. There's definitely a lot more to do. We are start working with micro customer journeys in all the different sections of the store. We are start working with wow moments, trying to rise the NPS in the store, so that we have already a pretty good NPS. So we think that is something that we have started, and fortunately with the help of Qualtrics will never end. Okay, so thank you very much and have a good day.
Thanks a lot, Hol. Are you public? Can I buy stocks in your company? Mm-hmm. I'm quite interested, actually. I think you're going to do extremely well going forward. We're running a little bit late, but I want to give the opportunity to do a couple of questions. So do we have any questions in the room? In the back? Yeah. Two? Yeah.
If you've got a relatively low purchase, I don't really want you to get too involved in my life, how do you increase response rate for surveys on, I've just popped in a relatively small item, so how do you get people to respond to their satisfaction?
Well, one interesting thing that I have not mentioned is that we have like 70% of our purchase came through the loyalty card. Okay, so we have identified almost 70% of the customers that goes through the store. So we can easily send the questionnaires and so on. I think that the response rate now is around 7%. That is, I think, is pretty high. We have thought in the past about making some incentives on it, but we decided not to do it. You can imagine how the customers are willing to collaborate and work with us. We even in one interview, one customer just take pictures of the stores because a serious out of stock issue. He put it on the cloud. He annexed the mail address of the Dropbox on which the picture were over there, and he just pasted it on the survey. So together with the survey, we got the pictures of the stores, and was true that the stores was terrible. So we have now the customers working for us, for free. So this is incredible.
Can I ask a question? You said that in several cases you are closing the loop when the detractor puts less than 4. Who is doing this in your hierarchy, and how is that?
Well, I think that as you mentioned before in Electrolux, I think that all this has to be close to marketing department. In that sense, customer experience is inside the customer, inside the marketing department, because no matter that you can raise all these problems on how the customer feel, you have to be able to make operational customer experience. So you have to be able to put in practice all the different programs in order to solve what you are seeing through all the data. So.
Who is calling back? Who is calling back?
Oh, who's calling back?
Or contacting customers. Who is contacting the detractor?
The people who's calling from to the customer in that sense is the store manager that manage the 10 different stores. As soon as the customer just send the interview, an email appears, an alert appears on the email of the store supervisor, and he knows that he has 48 hours to contact this customer and solve the problem. Okay, we have make a double check, and this is really they contact them. Okay, and the success rate is over 70%. Okay, so we're pretty happy with it.
Great. Thanks a lot again. Really interesting presentation.